I remember when I was on probation. And I remember it didn't make any sense. Well, I mean, yeah, it didn't make any sense because I got in trouble for stealing shit. That's what I got in trouble for. And while I was in probation, I never been on probation. I was on probation for like 5-6 months. And it was weird because, I got caught stealing. I got in trouble for stealing, and they made me take courses. Maybe it's just a class. It was anger management classes. And I had a probation, then they sent me a probation officer. And then I had 2 people that worked under that probation officer who would basically be the people who would check and monitor me and everything, make sure I was on the right track. So I was caught for stealing. Like, I'm making that clear because they did things that didn't make any sense. They sent me to anger management classes. I had to do them. It was not an optional. And they would drug test me every month. And, when I met these 2 people, it was a white dude and a black dude. And they were cool.
How old were they?
The white dude seemed young, probably early 20s.
And how old were you?
I was 16, 17 at the time. So the white dude was in his 20s probably, and the other dude seemed a little bit older, like early 30s. And they would tell me hey, let us know now, if you're smoking weed, if you're doing it, whatever. And I was like, I'm not doing anything. I don't do drugs, whatever. And he's like, come on, man, just be real. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't do drugs. And he's like, this is not the way to go. You don't want to talk and you don't want to tell us anything when we're trying to help you. And he's like, if you tell me now, I can help you. There's things we can do. And I'm like, I don't do drugs. I got caught for stealing. Petty theft, dumb stuff. I never did drugs. I never got caught with drugs. I never did anything with drugs. And he was like, all right, whatever. And you had to advise him because they would check on me randomly and they would pull me out of class, take me to a separate room in the school. How's everything going? What's going on? Whatever. What you doing? You had to tell them. At that time, I was going to a quinceañera that I ended up not going to, but they told me what's gonna happen at that quince. They were telling me. They're like, you guys gonna be drinking, smoking? I was like, no. And he's like, come on, I know, if it's a party, something's gonna go on. And I'm like, you can come if you want. Oh no, bro, we don't have to do all that. Well, then shut up, then, huh? Leave me alone. And I remember telling him, cause he's like, is there anything, how's everything going? Cause they would tell me they were cool about it. They were cool. They were just doing their job. And they were cool because they were like, is there anything we can do that will make things easier? Whatever. You're doing good. Cause this was already a couple months in, a month or 2 in. And I was like, yeah. I said, there's one thing you could do for me. I said, why am I being drug tested constantly?
Wasn't it how many times a month?
Well, it was only once or twice a month. And I told them, why am I being drug tested constantly? When the whole reason I'm on probation is because I stole something. It wasn't because I'm on drugs. So why am I being drug tested constantly? And the reason why I cared was because the first time I had to go get drug tests, I just went into a building and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna go into a room, I'm gonna pee, they're gonna take a sample, whatever, they're gonna check it, whatever. But it was a lot different, right? There had to be somebody monitoring you in there. So when it was time, whatever, I was there for the drug test for the appointment. They said, okay, and wait a little bit. And then somebody came out and led me to the bathroom. So when we got in the bathroom, he got in the bathroom with me. And I said, I was so,
hey, yo, you should have said him with that. Yo.
I was so shocked. Why? What are you doing? So I'm like, can you step out? And he's like, no, I have to be here. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, that's how it works, bro. I have to be here. And I'm like, he's like, so I had a moment. I was just thinking, and then I look at the toilet, and on the left side of the toilet, there was 2 mirrors on top of each other. Well, one on the bottom, one on the top, and angled differently, right? So homie can see. His whole purpose was in there to make sure, I guess, I'm not giving false urine, whatever, or I'm using a container to swap it out or something like that. So he's basically telling me I have to verify.
What's that job title? I wonder what that's called.
I don't know, but that's a weird title. And I remember he said something like, "Bro, like I'm not here to look at you like that."
Yeah,
But
right. Who gets a job?
Then why are you
doing
in
that?
here, huh?
Yeah, you apply for this fucking job.
Peeping Tom over here.
Yeah.
But like, so I was like, in my head, he knew that I was confused, and he's like, well, are you gonna be able to provide a sample, or do you need to step out for a little bit and drink some water? And I was like, let me step out for a bit, and then I stepped out, and then I drank water, whatever, just to make sure I can pee quickly, whatever. I said he don't have to see me.
You're just sitting there with your dog for 20 minutes trying to pee and shit.
No. Oh, and some people, and he's like, he was telling me like, yeah, like it's very normal. A lot of people were uncomfortable with it, but it's just how it goes, man. It's just what it is. And I'm like, all right. So
you should have warned him.
So after he's like,
you should have warned him.
He
like,
told
hey,
me,
be prepared for this monster.
Yeah, you might poke your eye out in here. I was like, so I went to the lobby, I chilled, and he's like, let me know when you're ready, because like we can't be here forever. He's telling me too, like we had to get whatever. All right. So I think I only took like a minute or two, and then I realized like this shit gotta happen. There's nothing I could do about it. So it is what it is. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I told him I'm ready, and he's like, all right,
I'm ready, bro. You ready?
Yeah. And he's like, all right. He walked me again, and while I was peeing, I took a look at the mirror because I could kind of see him barely. And he wasn't looking at me like that. I think he just looked in the beginning to make sure my shit was out and about. Yeah. And once he did, he stopped looking. So, well, I had to do that. And I remember like that being I'm like, that's gay. Like, I don't like that.
I don't understand the anger management too.
That's why I was telling them that.
Like, it's just like you go to, I don't know if it's just like a thing that it's just like a normal thing that they just put people on when you are on probation. It's mandatory, like anger management. No matter, even if you're not angry.
Maybe it was just something like, I don't know, like I don't really think they reviewed it, or maybe it's just like that. I don't know like that. I've never been on probation the first time. And I'm hella glad that it was for what it was, like, because like allegedly, right? Because like I'm not, things change, but like there's a lot of shit in the past that could have got me in a lot of trouble.
You went to court for that? Like, who gave you the sentence to probation? You had to have gone to court, huh?
I don't even remember. I don't remember going to court.
You had to have gone to court, and someone had to give you a sentence to probation.
I remember sitting down with the probation officer, and it was a lady. I still have her card. And I remember sitting down with her and her telling me like, hey, this is how shit gonna go. And you have this and whatever. If you like, if you slip up, you're gonna go whatever to the jail, whatever. And they're telling me, but like, just do what you're supposed to do, and everything will work out. Whatever, all right. But that's when the guys would ask me, is there anything I could do for you? I would tell them, why am I being drug tested constantly? Because I'm not, in my head, I'm gonna have to show my duh. You know, I don't want to show my duh. So they were like, that's a very interesting question. He's like, I don't know. He's like, honestly, I don't know. He's like, I'm gonna look into that for you. And then next time I seen him, he told me, I know before you mentioned about the drug test. And because I made it like very obvious. I'm like, but I don't do drugs. Like, you can check me whenever, you can pull up whenever. I don't do drugs. You're never gonna find drugs in my system. And I think, well, they believed me because they took it, and I guess they talked to the probation officer, and he's like, yeah. He's like, I can't remove it completely. He's like, I can't remove it completely, but you already done it like 2 times. He's like, and for you got, I think I only had like what? I had a couple months more, but he said you will only do it 1 more time before your probation ends. Is that okay? Is that a deal? And I was like, well, yeah. I mean, it's better than every month. So then we agreed to that. And I ended up, well, they were just constantly coming in and calling me out. This was at Central and adult school. But I remember I got off early because they told me I was doing good. I did the anger management classes like I was supposed to. And the anger management classes is something también too that sucked. I was there because the whole time I was confused, like, why am I even here? But the teacher was cool, and I remember asking him. My birthday was coming up. I remember asking him.
Anger management?
Yeah, the teacher that from anger management. There'd be a whole class.
Of how many people?
Probably like 12 to 15.
Damn. So it was an actual class with a bunch of people who have anger management.
Yeah, but we all talked about, like, you know how you said you go to and you announce and stuff like that. We did
Hi,
that.
my name is, and I'm here because I beat, like that.
No, you didn't have to say why you were here. You would just say like you would just basically communicate with others. Like it was things to make sure you worked with the people. But it wasn't like, hey, I did this and I'm here because I'm a thief. It wasn't none of that. But I remember telling the teacher, like, hey, it's my birthday coming up. Do I have to come? And he's like, it's your birthday? I was like, yeah. He told me what day and everything. I told him. He's like, you don't have to come.
It was like on a school day or what?
It was on my
Class
birthday,
day?
yeah. The class, because the class was after school in the afternoon.
It's my birthday.
And he was cool about it. He didn't care. So I remember when I finally got off, I got off like 2 months early. 2 or 1 month, I don't remember. Yeah, probably like 2 or 1 month, I don't know. But when I got off, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm about to get off. I don't have to worry about these fools bugging me no more. So I went into the office and I seen that same probation officer girl. And the whole meeting was like, hey, we're going to have a meeting. And it's basically going to determine if you can get off probation or you're going to have to do the rest months that you have. And they're like, but hopefully everything goes good for you. Those guys told me that. When we all went in together, they brought my mom in and everything. And they're like, hey, this is how you've been doing. You took every drug test. Everyone's been clean. You've seen how you're doing at school. Like, you haven't broke anything, whatever. So the girl's like, I'm going to do you a solid because you've been doing good. She's like, I'm going to let you go a little early. But like, don't make us regret that. Like, do whatever. Like, and because you did everything the way you're supposed to do, this won't be on your record. She's like, so you won't have to worry about that. This will be eliminated from your record. So because you fulfilled everything that the I believe the court or whoever, I don't know, wanted you to do. And she's like, so is everything good? Hopefully we don't see you again and stuff like that. And it was all whatever. And I'm like, finally. So I got off.
How long was the meeting?
Maybe like 20, 30-minute meeting. It was not that long. You just basically went over everything to see if I learned my lesson. Oh, one thing I forgot. One thing they ordered me to do, because the place I stole from was a Walmart. And it's crazy because when I got caught, I was caught stealing the dumbest shit ever, right? I was stealing Blu-rays. And the one that I got caught with was South Park. It's just funny. And I remember getting pulled into like, they have a little room in Walmart where security works. They pulled me in there and they started questioning me. And I wasn't taking them serious. And then they told me, one of the dudes told me, bro, like, why steal it? Like, there's a red box, like a machine out there. You can rent movies for $1. And I was like, but why rent it when I can own it? That's all. And he's like, when I hit him with that, he was like, oh shit. And he's like, okay. He's like, okay, whatever. Like, I caught him there. He's like, oh, I guess, like, but at the end of the day, it's hella dumb. But they made me go apologize to Walmart. They made me, it was a condition that I had to go, which I don't really even know how they would even know that. But in my head, I'm thinking everything is going to be like, if I don't do it, they're going to figure it out. So in my head, I'm like, fuck, I got to get it over with. So they said, write a letter, like a little thing. Then you got to go to Walmart and read it to them. And in my head, I'm like, damn, I had to read this shit to them. So I wrote one, whatever. And then I went to the Walmart. And then I went to an employee and I said, I need to speak to someone because I have a letter I have to read to them. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, they told me I had got caught stealing in the past, and they told this is something that I have to do because I'm on probation or whatever. And the guy's like, he's like, well, who do you need to speak to? And I was like, anybody, basically. He said anybody. And he's like, well, go ahead. He's like, go ahead. So I just read it to him.
Sorry for stealing.
I don't even remember, but it was like one of those, like,
Yeah, I learned my lesson.
Yeah,
I would never do it.
Yeah.
I understand. I hurt your feelings. I took from Walmart's CEO.
Yeah, right. And now that I think about it, it's probably just a normal kid. I don't remember his face. It's just a normal kid, whatever. And I told him that. And after I finished it, I looked at him. He's like, all right, like that. And then, all right. And I just turned around and we left, me and my mom. And
I said, like, weird. You got to go apologize to Walmart, just a random motherfucker.
yeah.
Hey, just stand here while I read you this.
But I guess that's their thing, though, maybe. It's a part of embarrassment that they get you with. Because nobody wants to do that. Even if it's like, whatever, it's an embarrassing thing. Oh, now your ass is going to go over there and do this.
What the heck?
But that was my whole thing. Like, and luckily I got off of it quick. Never had any problems.
I mean, probation, that's what I'm saying. Like, for your first offense, it was your first offense, and they gave you probation for 6 months. But you didn't go to jail.
No.
They never cuffed you or nothing? Mama, who picked you up?
My dad or my mom? I don't know. They picked me up. They just let me go. That's what I don't understand. But it was a police officer.
But you had to go. You had to have gone to court. You had to have gone to court.
I did go to court.
You had to have gone to court.
Because I remember going to a location where, well, I can put it like it had metal detectors and everything. I just don't remember like how the court process was. I don't remember it.
It was probably not like the TV.
It wasn't like I was in a big courtroom like these fools are going to jail.
You were in a little small room.
Yeah, or something like that. Maybe that's what it was when we were in those small rooms. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, that's the only time. Like, luckily I didn't have to deal with nothing other than that.
And we had very few interactions with police officers. And only a few times.
Well, I mean, a lot of times I just got lucky, you know. There's a cop in school who used to follow me. Because he has his hella suspicious on me. He always thought I had drugs on me. And he would just I call that harassment. Follow me to the store and
I don't remember what he even looked like.
I remember what he looked like.
Still right now?
Yeah. I would tell him, bro, stop following me. Why are you following me? You follow me to the store and shit, and then when I get out the store and start walking back to school, you're following me too? In his patrol car? Yeah. Slow as shit. I can see you. Like, I don't know what you're thinking.
He was hiding.
And when I would pass him, because he would be in the main hallway of the school, just posted. Remember that?
No.
You don't remember the police?
I remember there was a police officer.
He would just stand there. And when I passed to go upstairs, he told me something. I don't remember what he told me, but it was some slick shit. Like, I'm going to get your ass or some shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? He said something to me. I can't remember what he said. But I remember giving me this motherfucker just wants to, almost like he wanted to search me type shit for no reason.
He probably had it out for you. You should have did Generation X's ass.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think I call that harassment. You had nothing on me. It's all assumptions.
I wonder if he gets paid for that. Like, if he gets paid, or it makes him look good when he ever catches motherfucker with shit. If that makes him look good.
But I mean, as far as nowadays to be committing crime, it makes no sense. Bro, everybody who's in the streets, wise the fuck up. If you ain't making a lot of money, it doesn't make any sense. You know, even if you're making a lot of money, you can't do shit forever. If you get lucky, take that W and go away, run away with it. A lot of people return to the same shit. They rob a bank and they scot free, and they hit another one, and they hit another one. You're gonna get caught eventually, right? Get happy with that one, because none of us get that one. You got it. You got lucky. And I don't know what do they call that? The statute of limitations? Is that what it's called? When a crime is so old that it doesn't count no more, basically, they forget about it. Murder is not one of those.
You can get prosecuted for murder.
No matter what age you are. You could kill somebody. There was a case where this guy, he murdered somebody, and he was 80-something, living his life. And police finally figured it out and was like, oh, it's this motherfucker. And they went to his house and arrested him. And he got for the rest of his life, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't hurt as much.
You still got 30 years of freedom. There was this another case too where a guy I don't think he committed murder, but he did. I think he robbed a bank, or he robbed a store. I think it was a bank, and he robbed a bank, and like he got caught. Like I think he got caught or some shit. I don't know. I don't remember. But they were supposed to come to his house and arrest him. The police, everything. They had it in file that they were gonna go to his house and arrest him. And he's like, I need a refresh on the story, but he's like, I'm gonna go to jail. So he was in his house waiting for them, and they never showed up. And I think like 20 some years passed. The police thought this motherfucker was in jail the whole time. They thought they went and arrested him. And so when it was time to release him, they went to go find him. He's not here. What the fuck? Where is he? So then oh shit, this fool never got arrested. So they went and tried to arrest. I don't know if they did arrest him. I think they did, and he's now fighting it because he's like, oh no, they did arrest him, but I think they let him. I think they let him off. I don't know, because he owns a business now, and he said like, hey, that was me 20 years ago. Like dumb, I don't do that shit anymore. So they were going back and forth of whether he should be punished for something like that. And when the court can now see that he's a changed man, he owns businesses, everything he does is legit now. And it's not his fault that day they didn't arrest him.
Oh, I mean, I don't know how that works. It depends. I guess it would depend on the judge and what crime was committed.
When a mistake comes at the hands of the police, you shouldn't get punished for it. That's their fault. Now, I understand if they're like, hey, well, I mean, I don't know. That is a hard situation. If they forgot to arrest you, but when they remember they go arrest you, they're not in the wrong because you're still,
it's just 20 years late.
Yeah, but in 20 years late, you would have been out already again.
But I mean, you're fucking somebody's life up too. If they're all on the up and up to put them away for 20 years.
Yeah, but they
well, what did he do? He had to have done something bad for it to be 20-year sentence. If it was some stupid shit like fraud or like something non-violent, fuck it, let him be. If he didn't hurt anybody other than like commit some type of fraud or some shit, fuck it, let him free.
Thank you for listening to the AB podcast. You can follow us in the links below. All our social medias are linked there. If you want to buy some merch, the merch that we're usually wearing in the podcast, you can buy it as well. The link will be below.